And since about 2005, we've been representing really high-end, top-performing manufacturers who produce all sorts of architectural products and engineered systems for both interior and exterior applications. So I see a lot of familiar names in our attendees list. Most of you know my primary day-to-day function and role in the company is to collaborate with architects and designers like yourselves, and to provide really workable, viable solutions for your interior ceilings and wall applications. I want to introduce my business partner, Mike Morehouse. Show us your drink, Mike, or raise your hand, wave, whatever. There we go. So Mike is my counterpart for all things exterior, and he is an absolute guru on building enclosure and building envelope science. If any of you or anyone in your firms are working on projects that are related to exterior cladding, you really ought to look Mike up and show him what you're working on, because he is a really excellent resource from basically the sheathing out to include barriers, continuous insulation, and the cladding. We thought of this idea a couple of months ago, and we've been really excited about this event, and are especially grateful for everybody's time and willingness to participate in yet another virtual event. We've all become Zoom zombies these days. I know I have. So really, thank you guys very much for doing another one with us. We really appreciate it. And then hopefully you guys are following the ISA guidelines and rules and regulations, and are partnering with one of your favorite beverages at your desk. Not you, Leo, huh? Sorry. So for this event, we have assembled an exclusive, one-of-a-kind panel of experts, and we will be rifling through a wide variety of interior-related products and topics, and that I'm really confident that will be useful to your current and your future projects. But before I introduce each one of these experts, I really want to sincerely thank our entire panel and their companies. Number one, for putting up with ISA every single day. Yeah, thankfully, right, Mike? And number two, agreeing to do this event. I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's a one-of-a-kind deal, and I'm really glad that all of you could join us. So I'm going to introduce each one of you, and when I do call your name, show us what you're drinking. So first up is Michael Roman. Michael is the marketing manager from Ninewood. Hey, Michael. We have Chess Hutchings. Chess Hutchings. Chess is the executive business development manager for Gordon Incorporated. We have Vivian Chan. She is the director of sales and marketing for Unicel Architectural.
Hello, everyone.
Where's Leo? Leo Forrest. There he is. Leo's a national sales manager for Chemetal, Tree Frog, and Interior Arts.
He's drinking moonshine.
We got Sean Krisman. Sean is the sales manager for GKD with his beautiful sample setup over there. Really nice. Hey, Sean.
I'm in the office, sorry, so I have to have water.
Ah, looks great. And we have Howie Podolsky. Howie is the general manager of Pyrok.
Hello.
And last but certainly not least, we have Paul Debian, who is the sales manager for Stonewood Architectural.
Howdy. Thanks for having us.
You bet. So the format for this event is going to be like speed dating. I'm going to do a one-on-one interview with each of the experts for a few minutes each. And what I did for all of the attendees, if you refer back to the invite, I did attach an expert list and cheat sheet that you can kind of follow along just to see where we are. There's some clickable links in there that'll take you out to the websites for some of the dot points and products that we're going to be talking about. Please stay muted with your camera off for the duration of the interviews, but engage us with questions. Mike is going to be monitoring the chat box. So as you think of them, please type in your question in the chat box. It will be possible that we can get to them on the fly if time permits. And we will try to do so at the end of the interviews as well. But if for some reason time runs out, Um, we will follow up. Mike and I will follow up with either a phone call or an email to you guys tomorrow. So without further ado, let's get right to it, and let's have Michael Roman from Ninewood.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So great to be here. Hey, it's 1 o'clock on the Pacific Coast, so I'm rolling with my kombucha, peach flavor. So anyway, it's good stuff.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Michael, listen, it's no secret, ISA loves us some Ninewood. And there's some folks on here that know that too. Your company is simply one of the best out there in terms of your day-to-day processes, your customer service with architects, designers, contractors, and us reps out in the field. And you have really top-notch superior product quality. Can you please tell everybody out there, who is Ninewood and what do you manufacture?
Absolutely. First of all, Patrick, Michael, to all the attendees and fellow panelists, it's really a pleasure and a privilege to be here. So thank you for making the time. So Ninewood, the name comes from Division 9 wood ceilings, finishes. And, you know, a lot of architects love to integrate the beauty and the warmth and aesthetic of wood while getting that acoustical treatment. But let's face it, there's some real challenges and even problems with natural materials or specialty finishes. And, you know, what could some of those be? Natural material has lots of color variation. There's tolerance questions, a lot of technical aspects. And at times these can be frustrating or overwhelming. And we recognize that the architects have limited time. So that's where Ninewood, as specialists, we're the only company in the whole United States that exclusively manufacture wood ceilings and wall panels. So we like to take the hassle out of selecting and specifying a custom wood ceiling. We manufacture grills, linears, perforated tiles, all kinds of products. And, you know, we've done projects all over the country, including many with ISA, and we're really happy to be partnered with you guys in that. So that's a little bit about what we do, but let me just say, I love getting to see how wood products integrate into your designs. That's something that just kind of gets me up in the morning, seeing the innovation and the beauty of architecture. So really, we say we're like the jewelry on the bride. We just get to accent these incredible, innovative designs. So it's really a privilege that we get to work with the caliber of architects and firms that we get to.
Yeah, we've had access to all of that lineup. We've worked with grills and perforated panels and the linears and veneer, natural wood products, solid woods, custom stains, and it is a really fantastic lineup of products. And your website is fantastic. It's very user friendly. You can see all of those products really easily. A few clicks of your mouse to get you right there. How does Ninewood support architects and designers during their design process?
Well, Patrick, you know, we understand there's a lot of specifics with all these finishes, and that's why we've got a dedicated design assist specialist team. In fact, Kat, who works with you guys, and they are there solely to help walk through the process with you, and they can provide samples, technical support, CAD details, budgets. They'll hop on a call with you, go over your renderings or designs. They'll even do custom drawings, and then photos. So we're really built to support and hopefully, again, make it easy for you. I would like to mention our website too. We have hundreds of projects on there with high resolution photos. If you're looking for precedent images, it is mobile optimized if you're on your phone. Also, we just launched our learning center a few months ago, and we have over a dozen videos about wood ceilings. You can watch those about different topics, custom stains, exteriors, about one on walls coming out. And also, we love custom stains. We love to customize. So if you are working on a project, you want to tie in with another finish, that's something we can do. We will do a custom stain match and get you that sample. Usually takes a couple weeks. So we really like to do that. We want to tailor it to your design intent. So we have a lot of different things on there, ultimately to help, again, make it easy and take the hassle out for you guys.
Yeah, the sales support from you all is really superior, and the website's great. I use those pictures all the time. A lot of folks on here I've shared those with already, and so it's really top notch. Another thing that is really top notch is Ninewood's Fast Track program. again, I keep referring back to some folks that are on here who have taken advantage of this fast track. Can you tell everybody about Ninewood's fast track?
I'd be glad to. So I think you all could probably tell stories about specialty materials. We all know the lead time is typically 8 to 10 weeks, but what we don't always talk about are the approvals, which is usually another 8 to 10 weeks. All told, you're typically looking 16 to 20 weeks, which that's just kind of reality. And we realize that many projects don't have that kind of lead time for specialty material. So in 2016, we developed the Fast Track program, which delivers a custom wood ceiling in 3 to 6 weeks. And the other thing that we add to it is a guaranteed ship date. So that's for the contractors, but we actually guarantee the date, and we'll give a 5% refund for every business day late if we do not ship on our promised ship date. So that's been going. We've shipped almost 1,000 projects across the US and Canada now. And on the architectural side, there's a tremendous amount of design flexibility. You have choices of grills, linears, like in my backdrop here. I wish this was my office, but it's not. We also have scrims. We can even do custom stains. So I would encourage you, if you're looking at something like a renovation or some type of remodel or retail or something that's quick turn, Fast Track is a great way to go and know that you're not going to have to worry about that long lead time.
I don't think that in my market we've missed a ship date as promised. And so when we say it's truly guaranteed, it's truly guaranteed. So what about the steps that an architect or designer needs to take in order to work with ISA and Ninewood to accurately write a tight specification for a wood ceiling system, be it Fast Track, custom, or any of the other standards that we have?
Yeah. Patrick, I'd boil it down to 3 things. Working together, I would say to any of the attendees, reach out to Patrick and his team. And if we could get a project name and location from you, ideally some kind of working documents to get that into our system. We just keep that so we can archive all emails, conversations, samples. That'd be the first step. The second is let's go through that design assist process. Let's get you some samples, make sure you get all that technical information, images, whatever you need to make sure that our product is going to meet your design intent, your budget, and your schedule. The third is we will help craft that spec language so you can put it right in your bid documents. We can even write up a guide spec. That way you can rest assured we're going to bid it accordingly. And then if we're fortunate enough to earn the project, we will fabricate it accordingly. So those are the 3 main things. And again, I would just ask, send us the project information. We'd love to get started with you guys. 2 more things I do want to mention, Patrick, is I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Material Bank, but we just launched on that last month, which is a great way to get overnighted samples. We have all of our Fast Track SKUs on there now. And then second, the AIACE reporting season is coming down the line here. We have an AIACE course about wood ceiling. So we'd be happy to send you that link if you're looking for a credit hour that's on demand and whenever you want to take it. So again, appreciate the time and just look forward to working with everybody.
We could spend all night talking about Ninewood for sure, or any of the products in this portfolio. So thank you for boiling it down for us. And let's move on. Let's get the next expert, Chess Hutchings. Come on down.
Hey, Patrick.
Excellent. So Chess, Gordon Incorporated, you guys are another one of our fantastic manufacturers that we are lucky to be a part of. Over the years, you all have proven to be a great company providing all sorts of architectural metal wall and ceilings fabrications in all kinds of commercial interior projects and applications, including acoustical panel systems, ceiling systems, easy to install column covers, mullion-mate partition gap enclosures, and so on and so on. And now, because of COVID-19, safe surfaces and surface finishes for all these applications have become even more important all across the commercial construction industry. You all have a diamond in the rough. Can you tell us about the new antimicrobial surfaces that Gordon offers?
Well, sure, Patrick, but let me first say that, Gordon is honored to be a part of this event. We're really proud to have ISA representing us out there in the marketplace. You guys, by far, are one of the strongest independent manufacturing agents in the country. And the design community certainly is very fortunate to have you in that market. But Gordon, just to get into the subject matter, we're now promoting an antimicrobial powder coat finish. This finish can be, it's a powder coat that can be applied to any product that we manufacture, any metal product, whether it's ceilings, walls, column covers, trims. Gordon is all things metal. These powder coat finishes are applied in the factory in either an AAMA 2604, normally for interiors, can be used in exteriors, or AAMA 2605, primarily for exteriors. Factory finishing is very important because it helps control the cost, the quality, and the lead time. And there's so many other manufacturers around the country that outsource this responsibility. We're really proud to have that already in-house. It's very important to remember with these antimicrobial finishes that they shouldn't just be specified on things that are surfaces that can be touched. Imagine microbes that are airborne that land on, for example, a ceiling surface. The dust will form on those surfaces, and those microbes can attach to the dust particles. Eventually, those dust particles can go into the air and it can be inhaled by people walking around the space. So I think antimicrobial is a good thing not only for maybe a wall surface, but also a ceiling.
So we can get Steve Lodato in here and talk about these for hours, but without getting too overly technical, can you tell us how this antimicrobial finish works?
So what these antimicrobial powder coats are, they're typically a thermosetting, meaning that they're chemically cross-linked in the presence of heat to form a continuous and fusible coating film. They're high-performance architectural coatings that contain an integrated, specially engineered silver ion compound that performs the function of infiltrating microbes. Once that microbe attaches itself to the surface of a product with a Gordon antimicrobial powder coat finish applied to it, the silver ions break through the cell wall of the microbe, and then they disturb the respiration and metabolic function of that microbe. Then they attach to the DNA of the microbe and stop the cell replication. So that might be a little too technical, but that's what happens. It's all about clean surfaces, and this finish helps augment that cleaning process. And as long as this finish is attached to the product, the antimicrobial properties will continue to work perfectly. There's a lot more I could say about the finish. We're very limited on time. Gordon has created a 30-page white paper on this subject. It's written by the man that you talked about, Steve Lodato, who is our technical director. He's been in the industry for several years and has invented a lot of the powder coating technology that exists today. We're really happy to have him on our staff. So
we've already priced, we've built in some optional pricing in some of our walls and column cover pricing, just as an option to give back to the subcontractors, to translate that to the general contractor and maybe even into the architect and client. It's a great product. I know everybody's out there, they're probably thinking this must be a ton, a boatload more. So can you talk about the cost?
Right. It's an extremely affordable finish option. If you take the square foot price of the project, whether it's a ceiling or a wall system, it usually adds about $1 a square foot to the overall square foot price. And size matters. So, if it's a smaller project, it might add a couple of dollars. Larger projects, it might be as little as 75 cents a square foot. It's a real
Would I encourage everybody out there that might be working with metal ceilings and walls, send it to us, let us look at it, give us a sketch on a napkin, any preliminary elevations and RCPs, and then we can budget it for you. You guys can see how it plays from a feasibility standpoint on your projects. One last, switching gears a little bit with you, Chess. Obviously, Gordon, tons of innovative products. Can you tell us about the hygienic ceramic steel products that you now offer?
Yeah, it's another new, great, exciting product for us. It's a product that's perfect for airports, transit centers, arenas, stadiums, healthcare, anywhere where there's a durability factor that needs to be in place. Things that are going to get run into with crash cars or bumper cars or whatnot, cleaning equipment. and it's a product called Polyvision. It's a ceramic steel product that's scratch resistant, chemical, graffiti, bacteria, fire, and stain resistant. And it can be fabricated into wall systems or column covers.
Yeah, excellent.
Great product to specify when you've got all those different types of applications out there. But any information about that can be found on our website at gordon-inc.com, as well as the white paper about antimicrobial.
Excellent. Chess, thank you so much for your time. Sorry it was so brief, but we really appreciate you guys participating in this event. Thank you so much.
Love to be a part of it.
Great. All right, up next, let's have Vivian Chan, please.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Vivian. Of course, you know we love our Unicel.
Yes, and hot pink. It looks like we're matching today.
Fantastic. So. Yeah, I knew that. See?
Yeah.
Good, great minds think alike. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know how long ISA has been representing Unicel?
It's so funny you mentioned that, Patrick, because I was thinking about the exact same thing, and I think it's been 14 years at least.
It is. It's 14 years.
Because I remember way back when we first met in Philadelphia, and then your business morphed into what it is today, and I'm happy to be collaborating with you. Thank you so much for this event. Thank you for having me as a guest, and thank you for continuing to promote our products in the Mid-Atlantic. You've done a really great job in the last 14 years, so we're really proud to. Whoops.
We've got an attendee. Lean, okay. Lean, would you mind turning off your camera, please?
So thank you for that.
So anyway, it makes Unicel our longest running manufacturer in our portfolio.
Really? Well, let's drink to that.
Yeah. So you didn't know that. Cheers.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So can you tell us who is Unicel and what do you manufacture?
Sure. So Unicel Architectural, we are a Canadian company based in Montreal, and we were founded in 1964, so that makes us 56 years now. We're based in Montreal, and it was originally a family-owned business. The founder of the company in the late 70s saw his wife cleaning blinds in the bathtub. And, it was just awful to see that because it's a lot of maintenance, a lot of labor, and then, she'd have to wipe them and then hang them back up, and it was just too much trouble. And he said, there's got to be a way of getting that blind in between the glass so that it's in an interstitial space, completely free of any germs. And for those of you who live up in a northern climate like we do up here in Montreal, you're probably all using dual seal glass in your windows. They're all insulating glass units. So, there's 2 layers of glass in there. And the founder tried to find a way to get that blind inside of the glass. And that's what he ended up doing, was inventing our star product today, which is Vision Control, which is one of the products that we manufacture. But we do also make all kinds of aluminum and glass products for skylights, curtain walls, solariums. We do exterior sunshades. And we recently also adopted a new product, which is a timber curtain wall. It's quite unique in the market. So if any of you are interested in timber curtain walls, which are a lot more noble and warm and sustainable and renewable, then we certainly have a solution for that, which is quite different from the typical aluminum curtain walls that most people are accustomed to using.
So you had mentioned Vision Control a little bit back. Can you tell everybody what the difference is between Vision Control, which is what you see here?
Absolutely.
And blinds between glass,
yes,
which is what you see here.
Yes, and thank you for holding those samples up, Patrick. I'm sorry that I don't have my own samples. So what you guys see there is a typical blind between glass. You can see there's cords and strings in there. It's a sealed unit, so don't get me wrong. It definitely still keeps dust and germs out of the system. You can see how thick that is, and it fits pretty nicely in any kind of window system or curtain wall system. But it does have cords and strings, and they can get tangled up. They don't generally come with more than a 5 to 10 year warranty. And you can see when Patrick is closing those blinds that it's not a full closure. There's still a lot of light leakage in between the blades. They're not always perfectly aligned. That's what happens with blinds. That's just normal when you have cords and strings. So there's a limit to the lifespan and the quality of a panel such as that. Vision control, which is, like I said, our star product, is slightly different in that it doesn't have any blinds. It's, as you can see, it's a cordless system. It's a little bit thicker, but what we do is we integrate the louver inside that glass panel. And when you see, Patrick, you're doing such a great job. Thank you so much.
You're
When
welcome.
he turns that operator, that thumb wheel operator, which by the way are now made with Gaia 704 antibacterial compounds, so very similar to the Gordon products, but you can see that the louvers turn and they completely close. They're made of extruded aluminum louvers, and those louvers actually nest one on top of the other. So they have an interlocking feature that allows there to be complete privacy when the louvers close. And they never get tangled up, they never bind. They come with a up to 20-year warranty on those systems. And essentially, I mean, what's beautiful about it is that they're germ-free. They do come in a variety of different thicknesses, and they do offer privacy and vision when needed, but also control of light. So for instance, Patrick has in his house these beautiful wood blinds behind him. They're all shut right now, but they accumulate dust. I'm sure that you're not happy to clean those, are you, Patrick? When you have
no,
to,
I didn't even touch them. No.
you don't even touch them. So that's the beauty of our system, and we've managed to get that integrated louver inside of a hermetically sealed panel. So there's absolutely no germs or dust or anything gathering inside that unit.
What about the design criteria for these products being used privacy glazing in healthcare facilities? Can you elaborate on?
Absolutely. So we've noticed, and remember the story behind this vision control panel was that the founder simply tried to see if there was a way to get it inside the IGU. It turns out that as we started to market this product in North America, we found out that it was a natural market for us to be installing these in hospitals and healthcare facilities. Why? Because of the hermetic seal, the fact that hospitals and healthcare facilities' main concerns are hygiene, and quite honestly, more so today than ever with COVID and SARS and Ebola and all the other viruses and diseases out there, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming in the future. Having sealed products that require less maintenance and that keep the systems out germ-free is really what a lot of healthcare facilities are seeking. So our products have really answered that type of demand where there's concern for germs and infection and the need for systems that are maintenance-free.
We had a question come up that we got to move quickly, but it's a two-part question. So it really was, what other mechanisms are there to control the blinds?
Sure.
Besides the turn, I had the thumb wheel.
Yep.
You describe those, and then after that, move on to what other markets we can use vision control for besides just healthcare.
Okay, so quickly, we have thumb wheel operators. That was the one sample that Patrick showed. We have crank handles. We have knobs. They can be knurled knobs or smooth knobs. They're aluminum. We have PVC. We have plastic operators. We have removable crank handles, removable keys. A lot of that is used in behavioral health facilities to protect the patients. We also even go into motorized options and more fancy when they get connected to the intelligent system of a building. We get into the digital controls so that you can connect all that with an intelligent building. But in terms of markets, we certainly do cover other markets, such as educational markets and correctional markets. For education, we've seen, and this is kind of unfortunate, but we've seen an increase in lockdown situations and the need for better control and safety for the students and the staff. And with active shooter situations, what we have noticed is with the louvers being able to close and give complete privacy and complete lack of vision through those louvert systems, then active shooters are not able to see who's behind that classroom or behind that window. In correctional facilities also, this allows for sheriffs or custodians to be able to close the louvers and prevent any inmates from seeing out or seeing in. And again, it's just a wonderful alternative to using blinds that have gaps and holes and light leakage. So those are some of our other markets, but really anywhere where you need privacy, anywhere where you need daylight control and vision, this is where the products can be used, as well as in skylights, where the louvers remain perfectly rigid.
Fantastic. So anywhere we need privacy and light control, please call me or Mike Morehouse to help you guys specify a great insulated glass unit. Thanks, Vivian, so much.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Leo, you're next, buddy.
Well, hi, everybody. My name is Leo Forrest. I am from Chemetal. We also have Tree Frog and Interior Arts. I just want to make a shout out to my boy Mike at ISA. Today is his birthday. He just turned 21, which is fantastic. We're very excited. Cheers, my friend. But again, ISA has been with us a long time. And in fact, Patrick, I was just reminded you've been with us for over 20 years, my friend. So
I wish it was 20 years.
That's what someone just told me, man. I was like, how long have they been with us? It was like 20 years, I think. I'm like, wow, that's a long time. Whatever, 15, 8, 20, don't matter. I thank you for letting me be a part of this event. Super cool. So let it rip, Patrick. What do you got?
Well, it's actually 11 years, so you're number 2 on the long running list of our portfolio. So cool. Tell everybody about Chemetal, what you guys do. Talk about Tree Frog Interior Arts as well. We're halfway through, so we got to kind of zip it. We got keep mind of time as we move through. I'm going to remind everybody else too. Okay.
Yeah, that's a really loaded question, and so much to say, so much to show. So I'm hoping that the viewers are familiar with Chemetal, Tree Frog Interior Arts already. So I'm just going to kind of throw out some things that maybe they're not aware of what we do. So basically, we're a company out of Massachusetts, been around for over 40 plus years. We've been an industry standard when it comes to metal laminates. What kind of separates us from the rest of the metal laminate world manufacturers is that we oxidize materials by hand. So when I say that, we take a sheet of copper and we dip it and we oxidize it. It's like a piece of artwork, okay? We take aluminums and we get these crazy colors, grays, which is very popular right now. I know it's hard to see these images through here, but again, hopefully all you guys are familiar with Chemetal. I also want to address on Chemetal that we just came out with cleaning instructions for COVID, which is a big thing. People want to know how to clean our products. So we basically looked into the CDC recommendations and we tested out all the cleaners on our products. So that is available on our website. Our website has a lot of technical downloads from COVID information, specified spec information. I mean, there's so much valuable information on that website. So I too want to make sure you guys visit that website. And on top of that, the social media, Instagram is the best way to see how people are using our products. And the way people are using our products essentially is for millwork, wall panels, cabinetry, signage, details, man, you name it. We basically bring the bling to the project. We are a decorative laminate. We are not a high impact type laminate. So when I say that, that means we're vertical, not horizontal, okay? The other thing too I want to show here is that people don't know a lot of our metals that are metal only is that you can get really tight corners. I don't know if you can see that here, Patrick.
We can, yes.
Which is kind of neat because architects and designers, they dislike seeing those dark, ugly edges on the corner. So I'm also showing you a piece here called a miter fold. So if you can see here, it's a continuous look on the laminate, which is really neat. And it's a really simple process. So essentially, they achieve that by going with a V-groove. Okay, so if you can see that, so essentially, they take a flat panel and then they cut a V in the back of the panel and then they fold it and then you get your corner, clean corner. Going back to this,
That comes up a lot. That comes up all the time.
all the time. People always say, Leo, how can we get rid of those ugly dark lines?
Now,
Easy solution.
Chemetal does not fabricate that, correct? That needs to be a technique used by the mill worker though, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So what's important here is that most designers and architects expect to see that, but don't expect. You have to specify that. You get what you put in that spec, right? So we basically did a downloadable spec sheet on the process of V-grooving. It's on our website, and I highly suggest attaching that to your drawings. This way, there won't be any surprises on your project. Good stuff here.
And what about samples? Can you just talk about how do we do samples? How do we get samples? What kind of samples?
Samples. It's all about samples, right? It's important. You guys got to touch, you got to feel, you got to see for yourself. Because even online, as good as digital photography is, you still got to see it in your hands. The newest way to get samples from Chemetal and Tree Frog Interior Arts is to go online. You can actually order samples online. You'll get a tracking number, or you go directly to our reps like ISA, who these guys are on it in seconds. So they'll either hand deliver it or ship it. And the way we do samples, we have large 8x10s, 4x6s. We even have chips. I mean, my gosh, you name it. The bigger size is not a problem. We also have sample boxes. Okay.
What about wall boards?
We have wall boards, we have boxes, we have chain sets. I mean, you name it, we have it. We are not shy of giving out samples. They're all free, and we send out a lot of samples quite often. So please.
Thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate you participating. We love you so much. Thank
Hey,
you.
man. Same. Hey, Pat, can I say one more thing?
Yes, go ahead.
One last thing, really important. Big thing out there is Red List and HPD and Mindful. Right now, we are part of HPD, Health Product Declaration. Basically what that is, it's a list of ingredients of your product. So really important. We're the only ones out there in our field who has HPDs, and we're also part of Mindful Materials. So we know it's important, and that's why we just went through the process. I just want to throw that out there.
Awesome. You rock, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the support you give me and Mike out here in the field. We really appreciate it.
We love you guys.
All right. Okay, Sean Krisman, you're up. GKD. Where are you, buddy?
Can you see me?
There you are. Look at that spread. I love it. Hey, Sean.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it very much.
Awesome. As most of our experts know, Mike and I both cut our teeth in architectural sales of metal mesh products, not GKD. I won't name the other name, from beginning in like the late 1990s. So this product sector means a whole lot to us, and having success in the market. Can you tell everybody who is GKD and where are you located?
Yeah, sure. So GKD is first and foremost a weaver of metal fabrics, primarily from 316L stainless steel. Right now we have about, I don't know, right around 50 different patterns, and we'll weave patterns with solid rods in one direction, multi-filament cables in the other, solid rods in both directions. And I don't know how well you can see these, I'm sorry if you can't. And then we also use solid rods and flat strips. So GKD is a family-owned company headquartered in Durham, Germany, founded in 1925 and still owned by the same family to this day. We have manufacturing facilities in Germany, the US, of course, Chile, South Africa, India, and China. And we employ a little over 800 persons. So, of course, I work in the North American headquarters based on the beautiful eastern shore of Maryland.
Excellent. So just briefly, how did the use of metal fabrics first come about, and what role did you all play in that, outcome or that process?
Okay, so metal fabrics have been used, in small isolated applications such as elevator cab walls for, I don't know, probably the last 50 or so years. But the first major use of metal fabrics in architecture began back in the late 80s when the famous French architect Dominique Pyrok decided to incorporate metal fabrics into his design for the French National Library. And so at the time, Pyrok was looking for a partner who possessed the desire and manufacturing capabilities to develop the patterns which helped him bring his vision to life, so to speak. And since that time, GKD and Pyrok successfully worked together to realize, I don't know, many significant projects worldwide.
We've got a lot of interior architects and designers on this meeting. Can you tell us why stainless steel metal fabrics are a great choice for like partitions and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. So with interior partitions, for example, metal fabrics do provide what I think to be a very beautiful solution. And of course, there's many, like I said, we have about 50 different styles. Many of those are suitable for interior applications. But with interior partitions in particular, they need to be extremely durable, extremely high, especially in high traffic areas such as, I don't know, hotel lobbies, areas like that. And so for those types of areas, stainless steel metal fabrics are an excellent choice. Not only are they extremely durable, but by nature, they're very resistant to both intentional and unintentional permanent damage from, say, markers, paint, and other contaminants. Because most contaminants don't readily adhere to stainless steel, they're generally really easy to remove when compared to other building materials. So another unique aspect of metal fabrics is that you can choose the appropriate open area for your application. And by varying your open area, you can control the amount of light transmittance and airflow to achieve specific values to, say, accommodate requirements for LEED credits or to satisfy the design intent requirements for the project. And also, visual and physical weight are many times an important consideration in the overall design intent. And there are many options available from which to choose. So, physical weight would come into play for applications where, say, fall protection is important, and in applications where the intent is to keep persons away from a particular area. A visual weight would come into play many times depending on how much texture is desired and also depending on the viewing distance to the fabric. So, for example, the further the viewing distance, the more substantial the visual weight would need to be in order to, relay that desired sense of texture.
Going back to sustainability, what LEED benefits can you describe that are available when using metal fabrics?
Okay, so let's see. So specific LEED benefits. Well, let's just touch on sustainability a little more first. So they're incredibly sustainable. Probably over 99% of the fabrics we produce, like I said, are made from T316L stainless steel. And that material typically contains about a 60% recycled content. And additionally, our metal fabrics will in most cases last throughout the entire life cycle of the building where they're installed and are 100% recyclable once that life cycle has come to an end. Specific LEED credits that you can get would be, for example, material and resource credits, indoor environmental quality credits, and credits for innovation and design. And we do have dedicated staff available who can work with you to determine which credits would be available for your projects. And in the end, what I can say is in an increasingly disposable world, stainless steel metal fabrics are a great choice.
Awesome. Sean, we got to bounce. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I got to give equal time over to Howie at Pyrok and Paul at Stonewood. So thanks again. Really appreciate your support and willingness to do this program. Thank you.
Just one last thing. I would say just visit our website, gkdmetalfabrics.com. Tons of information for you there. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Howie Podolsky. Let's have Howie, please. There he is. Hey, Howie.
Hi.
Great to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. You know,
Opportunity, and thank you to everybody out there.
because of Pyrok's efforts in our market, you all have a fantastic reputation. And we are very fortunate to be your representative here in this market. So thank you. And we appreciate all the support. And we look forward to continued success moving forward.
Cheers.
So Pyrok, it's made up of 3 subsets of product. Can you talk about those 3, please?
Yes, we manufacture seamless acoustical wall and ceiling products. One of them is Pyrok Star Silent, which is smooth, looks like drywall, and very miraculously absorbs sound with a hard, smooth look. Another product is Pyrok Vogel, which are a dozen different patterns of seamless perforated gypsum board used on walls or ceilings. The face gets painted to the color of your choice. There's a black acoustic fleece on the back, so whether it's a ceiling or a wall, the guts of your ceiling or walls aren't exposed. And we can do pretty funky things like color the interior of the perforations and have different colored fleeces on the back. So one could have a tricolor pattern of a color on the face, a color on the inner perfs, and a colored fleece on the back. Our third product is a textured acoustical plaster, used again on walls and ceilings with even exterior capabilities. We do a very wide range of products, from projects from museums to WMATA transit stations with this product. So we have the ability to be smooth, perforated, or textured on walls and ceilings.
Going back to the smooth option of Star Silent, we have a lot of projects here, tenant fit outs, museums, theaters that want to have the look and feel of drywall, but need acoustical properties. There's a lot of these out on the market, but what makes Star Silent different and unique?
Star Silent is a rigid board made of crushed recycled glass bottles. The board, the glass gets heat fired and these little pellets formed into a board that's sound absorbing with a air permeable acoustical plaster over it to make it seamless. These plasters can be custom colored. They could be painted to some limitations, but we have the ability. Our competitors need drywall in the substrate. They are softer products. They can't take impact. They can't be used down low. Most acoustical consultants in certain projects like auditoriums and museums want the acoustical absorption products down below people's ears, and you have to have a certain durability to be able to do that. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, so I don't need, so I can actually screw that panel directly to stud framing. I don't need a substrate. I can cut out the plywood substrate and go right to the stud framing.
Correct. Plywood or drywall. You don't need a substrate. The product becomes its own substrate.
How responsible is Pyrok, environmentally speaking? How?
All of our products, we go the distance. We have declare labels. We have HPDs. We have LEED 4.1 docs, and we have Underwriter Laboratory VOC testing.
You're an acoustician by trade. Will you just quickly NRC, STC, and how those apply to your products?
Okay. NRC means noise reduction coefficient, and it's how much sound is absorbed in your product. When I give lunch and learns, I talk about sound absorption and sound transmission. Sound absorption is about control within the room you are working in. Sound transmission is stopping noise from adjoining spaces or the environment from intruding on your space, or noise generated within your space intruding upon others. The Star Silent product affects sound transmission, that it could block sound transmission as well as absorption. Most products, and even my other two, do one or the other. They have sound absorption. This product has holes in it. Not very good for sound transmission, but it's very good for sound absorption. Sound transmission is measured in blocking sound, and the units we test we call STC, or sound transmission class, and it's a measurement of how much sound a product blocks.
Great. One last quick question. Who typically will install Pyrok products, and do they have to be certified?
Yes, all three products have certified installers. Some contractors can do all three, very few. Some do one or two. They are approved by us, and then we, on all projects, until an installer has several projects under their belt, we send technicians out to the job for the first 2 to 5 days to make sure they are not being rushed by contractors who are losing time and schedule and trying to pick it up on finished materials. And we make sure they do it right and have the right mentality that quality is probably as important as any other parameter, on the job site.
Great. And for the designers and architects out there, we have a list of those certifications, those certified installers, and can help your contractor figure out where they need to go ahead and get a good high quality install of these Pyrok products. Howie, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for the job you do.
You bet. Thank you. Let's have Paul. Last but not least, let's have Paul. For everybody still on, please hang out. You don't want to miss this. This is a good product. We're coming to the end here, but let's go have at it. Paul, Stonewood cladding products are featured in interior and exterior applications for companies like Target, LA Fitness, Lidl, which is, I'm sure people out here have seen these grocery stores popping up left and right. Can you tell everybody, who is Stonewood? What do you manufacture and where? Wait a minute. Unmute.
I said, sure, I can explain that. Thanks for having me. I didn't expect to take 3 pages of notes with the other experts talking. That was awesome. I learned a ton about how they take their products to market. And we are the new guys on the block with ISA at just about 2 years now. So we're just getting started. We make all of our products right in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, which is just a little resort town halfway between Milwaukee and Madison. And I like to say everybody feels like they're only a day away from Wisconsin. So we can get everything shipped out pretty quickly and get onto the job site. So made in the USA, and happy to be here today. Thanks for having us.
You bet. So phenolic panels, durable panel.
Yep.
Where do you typically find this product in buildings? Where do you typically see it?
Yeah, so it's funny, when I explain to my friends, I say, you might see these as lavatory partitions, because that's the place where you see them the most, but they actually not where they're used the most. It's just where they're the most visible. But using them in that environment kind of speaks to the durability and cleanability of the product. We like to say they're used in high use, high abuse environments. So wall protection, healthcare environments, anywhere where you're going to have impact, cleaning, graffiti resistance, that's where you're going to find our wall coverings. So
I don't believe there's too many manufacturers of this type of product. What does Stonewood offer? A variety of colors and patterns? Can they get just about anything they can conceive in color? And pattern?
Yeah. So I mean, there is a great deal of flexibility. Made in the USA with real short lead times. We're a 4-week lead time product. So from when you place the order to when it arrives on site, it's 4 weeks. And we fabricate everything in-house. So we have 10 CNCs that go ahead and cut everything to order. I'm going to hold up a piece here. Oh, with my background, it's not going to work. I'll cancel this. But we have custom graphic products. So we can do custom graphics on 4x8 panels. We have wood grain solid colors. We have a line of proprietary colors and wood grains of 30 colors called Stonewood Select that give a very unique look. You're not going to see this in every wall covering, so you get something proprietary to you. We can go inside and outside with those Stonewood Selects. We also buy the papers from all the national distributors of paper, so we can find just about any pattern that Wilson Art or Formica might be doing. We can get an equivalent to that and make a high pressure laminate panel that will do the wall protection for you.
Talk about the durability of phenolic. Describe the thickness, typical thickness of a panel, let's say in an interior application. And why is it so durable of a material?
Sure. I'll just tell you real quick how it's made, because not everybody knows what a phenolic panel is. This is layers of paper, craft paper, dyed black and treated with resin. And then there's a decorative layer of paper covered by melamine, and we cook that with heat and pressure and thermal set it. And the thermal setting is the key. So it transfers from individual sheets of paper into a new chemically bonded unit. And the transaction that happens means that it's a permanent process. So I like to give the example of if you take an egg and flour and milk and put it in a bowl and add heat to it, it becomes a pancake. You can't ever make it anything else. It's a pancake forever. So our pancake is the Stonewood architectural panel. At the end of its life, it can be used as a fuel, much like a pancake. In fact, our whole facility is run with burned scrap from our wood and our phenolic panels, so we don't landfill anything. But all the durability comes from that thermal setting process. Mm-hmm. The top layer is actually chemical resistant, so we pass all the CIFA staining requirements, so it's very cleanable. We had some talk about antimicrobial earlier. While we are not antimicrobial, we can be cleaned over and over again with the harshest of chemicals, including all the COVID chemicals. So it's a great product, not only for wall coverings, but for tabletops and tablet arms and anything that's high use, high abuse.
What about the cost effectiveness of a phenolic over any other option out there? And touch on how you see this installed on the interior just a little bit.
Sure. Well, the nice thing is because we make to order, we can make any thickness from a 1/16 of an inch up to 1 inch in thickness. So there's a lot of applications there. With a Class A 1/8 inch thick panel, sometimes we go against tile and replace that in long corridors in airports and schools. And we attach that just with adhesive. When we go up to 5/16 or 3/4 of an inch, we have Z-clip mounting systems where we can screw a Z-clip right into it. The product's strong enough to hold that Z-clip and go on the wall. And so a reminder to everybody who's listening, I'll say design with 4x8 in mind. We make a 4x8 panel. The more of that panel you use, the less your cost per square foot. So numbers that are divisible by 48 are great. 6, 8, 12, 16 are great sizes for us, 24 and 48. And the more of that panel we can use, the more cost effective it is. And we start at about $4 a square foot and we go up to 14 a square foot.